What's weird about the first comments is that people get really fucking angry about this stuff too. Like, I've seen people like devolve into like arguments in the comments over first. So like first, like, no, I was first. No, I was first. Fuck you, man. No, fuck you. And it's just like, whoa, what are you guys doing? There is no medal that comes with first. Why are you guys fighting each other? Welcome back, everybody, to Falcon Plays Tube Tycoon. What are we talking about today? You might be wondering, and I have the topic right here on the top of my head. I actually remember this time around. It's a new day of recording, mind you, but I still remember what we talked about last episode. Your relationship with developers and publishers and things of that nature. I get a lot of questions asked my way, like, Falcon, do you buy all these games that you're always covering? And the short answer to that is no. I actually do not buy most of these games. There's a few titles that I do have to pay out of my own wallet because, you know, I just can't get in touch with the developers, the publishers, whatever have you. There's just no contact involved, so I kind of have to dip into my own pocket for that. But that's kind of one of the things you have to expect when it comes to YouTube, especially if you want to cover new games. And as a matter of fact, you do want to cover new games. I'll give you a few hints here today about how to get in touch with developers and publishers as well. But we'll do that pretty soon. Right now, let's get our first video up and running. This is a new day of recording, not only for me, like Falcon, but the Falcon and Tube Tycoon as well. So let's see. Let's go ahead and record. Let's do our first vlog of the day, because I already have the topic at hand anyway. So we'll go into daily vlogs. We have, a 6 and a 7. It's pretty good. Kind of weird how the interest isn't really too high, though, now is it? I wonder what that's all about. Anyway, our title today is going to be, the press. We'll talk about the press. And the press is going to be something that even you guys are going to be the press. And by you guys, I'm talking about, like, people with, YouTube channels. It doesn't really matter if you are, like, a small little channel as well. If you're doing coverage for a video game, you are part of the press, in a very small minority, mind you. I don't expect you to be going to, like, conventions and, like, have your own website where you're making diligent reviews. But if you're still covering gaming footage on YouTube, in a sense, you're part of the press, because what you're doing is you're kind of putting some eyeballs on the game of a developer or a publisher. And developers and publishers do enjoy that, especially when it comes to YouTube, because, in a sense, it's an easy way for them to promote their games for free. And we'll talk more about promotion here pretty soon. But our daily vlog is going to be the press, so let's go ahead and get this video over here recorded. Meanwhile, that's going on as well. Let's see, Floppy Bird, the interest is completely high, so let's get Floppy Bird over here recorded as well. Look at this! Look at this, ma! I'm recording two videos at once. I am quite the, what is it, multitasker? Multitasker is the right word I'm looking for here. Look at Floppy Bird over here. It's just killing it! Floppy Bird is killing it again! Alrighty. So, what do you entail as members of the press? Well, as I mentioned, as long as you're doing some coverage on a video game on YouTube, you're still a member of the press, doesn't matter how big or small you are. Essentially, what your role in YouTube is going to be, other than, trying to, get bigger or whatever. Get bigger. Not that kind of bigger, I assure you. But I mean, just growing your channel-wise. Getting in touch with developers and publishers is going to be really important for you. Let's look at these comments here first for the press vlog. It could be better, says Soniac Design. You know what, Soniac Design? You don't tell me what to do, okay? We have Zekokia. Click here to read more. LOL. I'm clicking on you and there's nothing to read. You are a liar. We have Karolak as well. Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it. Do it. Don't let your how does that go again? I don't know, whatever. Shia LaBeouf is crazy, dog. That's the only thing I can say about that. So we got some pretty decent views in the press video. Not too bad. We got $2 out of that. We also got $3 out of Floppy Bird number 13. 4 comments as well. Here's Rixosia again. Hey, you know what? Rixosia, however you spell this name, or not spell it, but pronounce it, is becoming a regular commenter on my videos over here. This is really exciting when you're a YouTuber and you start seeing people very often in your videos and you're kind of like, oh my god, I have a dedicated viewer. Yeah! So here he says, there is no sense in recording this. Wow. This guy is one of those dedicated viewers we talked about that's kind of like a dick. That's what you are, Zagokia. You're a dick, dedicated viewer. I block the dicks, mind you. Actually, I don't really do that too often. On occasion, I will do it. I used to do it a lot more often when I was, like, a smaller channel. But nowadays, it's kind of like, if you want to be a dick, whatever, go ahead. I don't even care anymore. I'll just pay attention to the people who are cool. And then if you're going to be a jerk, then it's kind of like, whatever. I'm not going to spend my time with you. Jagodale says, is this a joke? Yeah, you would say that. This was boring, says Jestum Jack. You know what, Jestum Jack? You're kind of like a bipolar individual. One video, you're happy. The other video, you're, just laying it on me. It's really weird with Jestum Jack. We also have Drostic who says, first! Oh, of course, we are now getting first comments on the videos. I'll be honest with you, people ask me about First all the time, how do I feel about it? I don't really feel much about it. I don't understand it, for one. I just don't really understand the First comments. But it doesn't bother me. Like, people are over here like saying First. What's weird about the First comments is that people get really fucking angry about this stuff too. Like, I've seen people like devolve into like arguments in the comments over First. So like First, like, no, I was first. No, I was first. Fuck you, man. No, fuck you. And it's just like, whoa, what are you guys doing? There is no medal that comes with First. Why are you guys fighting each other? I don't understand the First thing, but does it bother me? Not really. It's like, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do, I guess. Anyway. Let's go back to the press over here. Before we do that, let's go look for another basic vlog. Do we have a tag video for today? No, we don't. Basic vlog. 3 and a 7? Why not? About a new bunny. Look at this. Falcon has a new pet. I went from birds to bunnies now. Go ahead and record about a new bunny. So, how do you get in touch with developers and publishers? If you're a small channel, I'll tell you right now, do not... If you're like, here's an example. Say you're like a 20 sub channel, 25 subs, you get like 2 views a video or something. We all start somewhere. It's not a knock against you, but we all have to start somewhere. But if you're like a small little channel, you're barely pulling any views, don't be surprised if you look for Rockstar's email and say, hey Rockstar, can you send me a free copy of GTA 5? I want to cover your game for my channel. If you say this, don't be surprised when you don't hear back from Rockstar. Now here's what I will tell you. Just because you're a small channel does not mean you don't have to try. You gotta try. I've heard this popular expression, not really a popular expression, but I've heard this expression beforehand, it makes sense. If you don't even try, it's like you've failed 100% of the time without even taking a chance. It's kind of like, when you see like, an attractive female or male, depending on what you're into, or what gender you are, maybe both. Maybe you like both genders, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. August 2016. Experiment all you want. But say, for instance, you see an attractive individual and you're too shy to go up there and talk to them, You see them over there and you're like, man, it's so hot. But you're too shy to go over there. Here's the thing. If you go over there and you get shot down, okay, at least you gave it a try. If you don't go over there and get shot down, it's like you never even tried, and it's like you 100% went ahead and got shot down. So you're thinking, okay, I won't do it because, she'll say no, he'll say no, I'm embarrassed now. Okay, so you failed, but you tried. If you don't try, it's like you might as well have tried and got shot down because you'll never have that chance. And it's the same thing when it comes to YouTube and developers and, publishers. If you don't try to get in touch with them, it's like you were shot down immediately without even trying. So if you're gonna fail, you might as well give it a shot before you do fail. But let's go back to Shia LaBeouf. Just do it! Do it! No, that's basically it. The guy's insane, yeah, but he's right. Just do it. You never know when a developer's gonna say, you know what? Cool, here's the key. Try it out. And that happened to me. I'm not sure what game that happened to me, but I was still like a relatively small channel. And the publisher, kind of a bigger publisher too, not like, Rockstar, Ubisoft or anything like that, but they were kind of like in the mid-tier. You have your indies, you have like your mid-tier, and then you have like your top-of-the-line food chain when it comes to developers and publishers. I forgot what it was, but I sent an email out, and they sent me a key. And I was like, oh, cool, that's really amazing. I wasn't really expecting to hear back from this particular developer or publisher, but they did it. And I covered the game. I forgot what it was, but I know for a fact it happened. I just don't really remember what game it was. It's been a while now. Let's see. How did Floppy Bird do? Right. Let's see about a new bunny here. Oh, no comments about a new bunny. We got $2 out of it, though. Let's go ahead and record our last Floppy Bird of the day, I'm going to say. Record our last Floppy Bird of the day. That's an analogy for my penis right there. Hi-yo. Oh, it's not funny. Anyway. If you don't give it a try, then you might as well have sent the email in and got shot down. Here's the worst that's going to happen to you if you try this out, by the way. If you send a email to the developer or the publisher, like, hey, I run my... Here's what you got to do, by the way. You got to send them your link to your channel. You got to tell them a few analytics. What I'm talking about here is how many subs you have, how many views you get per day, per week, per month, whatever you want to give over here. You got to give them some information about yourself. You can't just send in an email, like a weird email where you have like mistyped words, just terrible spelling, no sort of form in your email. It's just like a run-on sentence. I mean, formulate your email properly for one. Make it look professional. Have a paragraph in there, have a heading, have a thing at the bottom with your name and your links to your social media, to your channel. Make it look professional for one. You can't just send like one sentence being like, hey, I have a YouTube channel. Can you send me a game, please? It's like, it's not going to work for you. You got to give them something to kind of eye and be like, okay, this is kind of professional for one, and then they'll look at your numbers and be like, make the chance whether they want to give you a key or not. So, I mean, for one, figure out how you're going to formulate your email, make it look professional. You don't have to, fucking send pictures and stuff like that, but just make sure you're typing correctly, you're using proper wordage, Just make sure that they could read it and be like, okay, this is a person that's not just fucking around trying to get a free key. Because believe me, publishers and developers on a daily basis get people either pretending to be someone they're not, or just giving them bullshit information to get free keys, and then they turn around and they sell those keys. I've heard many stories about people like getting free keys from, especially when it comes to indie developers. A lot of people take advantage of indie developers because indie developers do not have money to promote their games properly, so they kind of focus on things like YouTube and Twitch to get their game out there, If they give their game over to a YouTuber or a Twitch person, that person will probably play their game and their audience might pick up the game, and for that developer, it's free press, whatever. Sorry, I have to cough. Okay, there we go. I had to cough and I couldn't get that word out. But for developers like that indie ones, if a YouTuber or a Twitch person covers their game, for them it's free promotion because they don't have to pay them in order to get that video out. Now, of course, there are things like paid promotion. You usually see paid promotion when it comes to, like, again, big publishers and developers. Your Rockstars, your Ubisoft, your 2Ks and stuff like that. Like, they could offer YouTubers and Twitch people like, hey, here's some money, cover my game please for, the audience. And, with that, when it comes to paid promotions, by the way, it's kind of like, I'm pretty sure it's the law. Like, people are kind of really iffy about it, but it is essentially, you have to make sure, if you're going to be doing that, you tell your audience somewhere, preferably in the start of the video, let it be known easily. You don't want to, cover it up that you're doing a paid video, because if people find out you're over here covering games and getting money for them and not telling them about it, they're going to instantly think you're over here been bought and you want to give a positive review because you're getting paid. So make sure, hey, I am doing a video right now, I'm getting paid for it, it's a paid promotion, and if you're going to be doing that as well, be sure to be honest. Make sure that if you're going to get in touch with a developer and they're like, I'll give you money to cover the game, at least be like, hey, if we do this, can I at least be honest about the game? If they say to you, like, no, you can't say anything bad about it because I'm paying you, then you might not want to do that, because then your integrity as a channel person, as a press dude, is going to be shot down to hell. Because people are going to be like, well, this guy is going to lie about games because he's getting money. I personally have never done a paid promotional video. I don't intend to. I've gotten a few requests on occasion as well. I'm not opposed to paid promotion myself. Let's see, hold up. Let's go get some sleep here really quickly. People get mad that I don't proceed with the game over here. It's like, Falcon, please play the game, okay? Shut up. Shut your mouth and play the game, okay? It's like, dude, come on. The game is pretty basic, it's nothing too extravagant over here. Let's go ahead and get some sleep, though. Am I almost ready to get another level? Nah, I think I have to go to sleep first. I've had a few, requests come down my way where people are like, can you cover this game? There'll be like, some sort of monetary compensation for you. I'm not against that idea at all. Like, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm against it sternly. It's not that I'm against it, but at the same time, I just don't feel comfortable doing it because, I feel that even if you tell your audience, hey, I got paid for this video, I still think there's always a linger bit of doubt in the back of people's heads where they're thinking, well, he's saying that he's being honest about the review or about this video that he's covering, but he got paid for it. How honest is he really being? So you kind of have to weigh your differences out, where it's kind of like, do you want to possibly conflict the opinion of your viewers towards yourself for a little bit of money? So again, it's something that I personally have received a few requests for, but I've never gone ahead with them just because in my head I'm thinking people might believe that I'm being full of shit with this video just because I'm getting paid for it. I wouldn't be, for a fact. I tell you straight up what I think about it. That's what I do with all my series, mind you. I play games, and for the most part, I try to play games that I'm going to enjoy. But even games that I enjoy on occasion will have certain things I don't enjoy about them, and you'll hear about it. You'll see in my videos, in my commentary. If I don't like something, I'll be like, well, I don't agree with this right here. I'll just say it straight out, because, that's kind of like, I want to be honest about the entire thing here. So when it comes to paid promotional videos, it's good to be honest for a fact, but you also have to wonder, it's still going to cause a bit of lingering doubt with your audience, where people are thinking, well, yeah, he's saying he's being honest, but is he really saying everything he wants to say because he's being paid? So that's my opinion on that. That's the reason why I've never done a paid promotional video. But, I've had the chance for sure, and, would I say I will never do one? I really can't say that. I mean, maybe that'll become a day in my YouTube little career here, where it's not really a career, but we'll call it a career in terms of longevity so far, where down the line I might do that, and I don't want to ever come back to the point where people are like, Falcon, you said you would never do it, Falcon! I don't want to ever come back to that because I hate not, keeping my word on things. So would I ever do it? Maybe, but it'd have to be the right circumstance, and I would have to be like 100% opinionated, where it's kind of like, okay, I'll do it, but I'm going to be honest about this thing, so if you don't like it, maybe we shouldn't be doing business over here. From Nescott to Mr. Falcon. Hello, I'd like to invite you to record a tag on. Oh, another tag? Cool. This is going to be Nescott, huh? You got it, buddy. Get on out of here. So that's the whole paid promotional things, but we kind of jumped from just regular coverage to paid promotion here, but it's still kind of like the same overall umbrella of what we're talking about here today. So when you're contacting a developer or a publisher, start small. If you're a small channel, start small, is all I'm going to tell you. This interest is actually quite low, 3 and 3. Let's go back over here. Let me find, let's do our tag first, I guess. 6 and 7 is actually pretty good. A selfie tag, huh? Go for it. So if you're a small channel, go ahead and start small to begin with, okay? Don't go ahead and contact Rockstar and Ubisoft and think, oh, they didn't contact me, fuck them. It's like, they just get hundreds upon thousands of requests every single day, so they obviously will go ahead and focus on big channels or just, big members of the press as opposed to, small little channel on YouTube. That's just the way things roll. It's not because they don't want to do it. It's because, they have to follow certain protocol when it comes to their company, things like that. I like how this guy has a fucking hard-on hate for me. This Karalak guy. We lost 54 more subs because of this guy. You know what? It's not my fault. I was asked to do a tag video and I did. Karalak. Okay, let's come back over to record movie and let's do our daily vlog. I have a title for this video right now too. I'll tell you that right now. I'm gonna go to war with this guy right now through Tube Tycoon. Watch. Give me a good one. 6 and a 5. That's not too good. Hold up. Me and Karalak are going to war. It's fucking YouTube drama shit right now. 5 and 6, a bit better, but not quite. Let's see. Come on. 4 and 4. 4 and 5. Nope. Come on, dude. Give me a good one here. I'm going to war with this guy. This video's got to be really, really good. Like, extra good. 4 and a 7. No, I have more to say about him than 4 seconds. 6 and 7, that's good. Fuck Koralek forever. That's the name of this thing. I'm going to war with this guy. I've had enough of him hating on my videos all the time in this game and making me lose subs. So you know what? Koralak, me and you and Tube Tycoon, we're going to war, buddy. Maybe in real life as a real YouTuber, you're a cool guy, but in the Tube Tycoon, you've been nothing but a jerk to me. So you know what? Fuck Koralak forever. Anyway. Aim small to begin with. Make sure that your email is it looks proper, it looks kind of professional. Make sure you include stats about your channel, your this channel of your, or the size of your channel, the amount of views you get, things like that. People want to make sure I'm giving you a key because why? Do you have an audience for me to, promote my video through you? And start with indie developers. As I mentioned, indie developers do not have money to have a publisher. Sometimes they do. But they don't have the money to promote their videos for, coverage. They can't get their videos to certain people. They can't, put up billboards and ads and stuff like that. They can't afford commercials. So they kind of really rely on people on YouTube and Twitch to cover their channel. Because then, for them, that's free promotion, and then the viewers of that person might go ahead and pick up their game. So that's the reason why indie developers are really cool when it comes to YouTube. When it comes to really big companies, some of them are not crazy about YouTube. Nintendo was one of the biggest proponents against YouTube. They eventually kind of, I guess, turned their idea on YouTube, but now the way Nintendo does it is that they take YouTubers' money for covering their game as well. So it's kind of like, yeah, you can cover our games, I guess, that's cool, but we're gonna make sure we get some of your money out of that. So, I don't know. Nintendo's still very, very iffy about it. It's the reason why I don't do any Nintendo games. But that's another whole story altogether. Start with indie developers. They'll be more than glad for you to cover their game because here's how you should look at keys that developers give to you. I'll break it down to you in a very, really easy way here. Comments. I love your video. Oh! Apparently people like the fact that I'm taking shots at Koralek here in Tube Tycoon. Alrighty. If you're... Oh, I misspelled his name. They probably don't even know I'm talking about him. This is Karalek and I'm over here talking about Koralek. Well, I guess I wasn't warring with him after all. Yeah, saved yourself this day, Karalek. Okay. Let's go into recording our game here. Ooh, interest is really high. Let's go and get that one done. So, here's the way I see companies giving you keys. Mind you, this works as indie developers, but just in general. Here's the way I see the breakdown of publishers or developers giving you keys for you to cover their game. All they're doing is giving you one code for their game. In turn, you go ahead and you redeem that code on whatever platform you're covering. So far they've lost let's say one sale is what they've lost, okay? And then that person who covers your video, they put out a couple of videos out. Suddenly, people who view that channel or whatever, they read that website, whatever might be the case here. We're not talking about just YouTube now, we're talking about just in general the press. Everybody that reads that website, watches that channel, watches the live streams, whatever they're doing, they'll see the game, and you know what? It's probably a game they weren't even familiar with to begin with, or it's a game that they didn't really care about until they saw it in action because of you. Suddenly, at least one person, I guarantee you, at least one person, I can tell you this for a fact just based on the comments that you guys leave me. Like, I get a lot of comments where people are like, Falcon, I got this game because of you, thanks a lot, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying blah, blah, blah like an insulting manner, like I don't care, but I'm just saying, it's an example here. I get a lot of comments on a lot of my games where people are like, Falcon, I picked up this game because of you, thanks a lot, I would have never heard about it, so on and so forth. The developer or publisher is now giving you one key. In turn, they lost, let's say, one sale. It's not even a sale because for all they know, you were never going to buy that game. But they hooked you up with a key. You have now made a couple of videos out of it. Suddenly, at least one person guarantee is going to go ahead and buy that game. Suddenly, that publisher or developer has broken even. And you know what's going to happen beyond that? More than one person is going to end up picking up that game for a fact. And suddenly, two people have bought the game. They are now they made an investment already. They've already broke even after the one sale. After the second sale, they made a profit. You know what happens after that? A third person buys it, a fourth person. Suddenly, that one code that you invested into a member of the press has now made you a lot of money because people are buying that game based on that certain press member covering the game. So, the story here is, the overall arching story is, get in touch with developers and publishers, build up a repertoire with them, and cover games. And believe me, that's going to be a good way for you to be able to make cover games on YouTube, because it's going to be a really big expenditure if you're constantly buying games over and over and over, especially if you're not making a lot of money on YouTube. And that's kind of like in the same situation I'm at. I don't, believe me, I don't make much out of this. If I've mentioned this many times before, if I was to ever quit my job and say, I'm going to start doing YouTube full-time right now, I would be out in the street by the end of the month. So if I had to constantly pay for every single game that I cover, oh boy, I would not be doing this anymore. But as I've mentioned, there's also occasions where I have to buy games because I just can't get in touch with the developer. I really want to cover a game, so there's definitely sacrifices to be made. But for the most part, just make sure you build up a good repertoire with developers and publishers, and they will hook you up with keys because, as I mentioned, it is free promotion for them. And with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Let's go ahead and just read the comments for Floppy Bird. Stop recording! It says, oh, Matthias the Herring is back! Boring! Oh, how trivial. Of course Matthias will be the last comment over here. Let's see, do we have... Let me do a basic vlog here. Interest is really high. Let's do this one and we'll wrap up this video here for today. But I wanted to talk about that whole issue with the press here. I get that question very often about, if I buy all the games. Here's what I'll tell you to do. And this is something that you probably won't hear about talk too much, but it's something that I'm pretty sure happens a lot on YouTube. I personally don't do it, I don't condone it, but if you're gonna do it yourself, then that's your own prerogative. But please, don't be a scumbag and pirate the game if you're gonna cover it. It's really iffy, it's really sketchy because, what you're doing is you're making like money off of somebody's work. Like, I'm talking like minimum money too. Like, especially, maybe you're making good money. Maybe if you're a big YouTuber, I'm not sure why a big YouTuber would want to do this, but if you're a big YouTuber and you're pirating games to play them for your audience, it's just so sketchy because you're probably making money off of this developer or publisher or whatever without, either getting their approval by giving you a key or by never buying the game and like not, helping them out. You're just basically filling your own pocket with somebody else's work. And that's pretty terrible. Like, don't do that. Just don't resort to pirating. If you have to do it, then, I'm not your mom or dad. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to, punish you for it. But believe me, if you really want to cover a game, just get in touch with the developer or the publisher. And I'm pretty sure, more than likely, especially who it is, you'll probably be able to get a free key out of it and just cover the game, as depending on how your channel's doing and who the publisher and developer are. Here we go. About commonly dragons, huh? No, we got to go with the enormous potato with this one. So yeah, don't rely on that. Don't do that. I mean, again, you can do it if you want to, I guess, but I really just wouldn't suggest it. It's really sketchy. It's really unethical, really, is the real good word here. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it anyway. I'm not your mom or dad. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do, but just to give you my opinion, I think it'd be kind of really unethical. But, there we go. So about Enormous Potato, once this is done, we'll get a bit more money. We're still completely in the negatives, mind you. 2 more comments. Like if you watching us in 2015. Apparently Noah's from the past. My friend, can you jump in a time portal and meet us in the present? And Jack PL says, oh crap. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap it up here for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, leave a like to support us. Mean a lot. Stick around for the next episode. I will catch you next time.